The station leading the way with exclusive interviews, stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs. Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Betrayal trauma is long-term enough, it sort of has this really kind of big wide web around it, that in essence, a person experiencing betrayal trauma will say, I was married to a stranger, or my family member is a stranger, or it's just sort of this what just happened kind of thing.
Yeah.
And a person kind of walking through their life kind of hollowed out, looking like a deer in the headlights, because it's not just as simple as somebody wakes up one day and says, you know what, this marriage isn't working anymore. It's not that. And you're kind of sad and like, where did this come from? But there is no other person. You really, truly did grow apart. This is something very, very different, sort of deceit upon deceit upon deceit.
Yeah, the voice of reason has returned to KBLA. And as is commonplace, you know I'm not going to play with you. I'm going to be honest. I did not get on the Cat Williams Club Shay Shay interview bandwagon. Like, I never watched the interview. What I did do was I saw a lot of clips, and I saw a lot of reactions to that particular interview. And what I got from it was 2024 is about revelation. 2024 is going to open us up in a way that we've never been open before. And what's crazy is we have been seeing it ever since that interview. Things have been coming out. Things have been happening. We go from Club Shay Shay. We go to Kendrick. So many things are just coming out. Now we're at Diddy, and that's just on the entertainment side, right? The world is changing. Things are happening, right? And so, with all of these difficulties or revelations or challenges that are coming out, I'm seeing it as an opportunity for healing, right? That Diddy video was surreal, right? But at the same time, we have to be honest. Just because it was caught on tape doesn't necessarily mean it was a rare event, a rare happening. If you get into DV studies, domestic violence studies, you're going to find that, you don't name something CCV for nothing. CCV, common couple violence. IPV, intimate partner violence. And usually violence, of course, it's a complex, nuanced issue. Upbringing, lack of boundaries, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, it typically comes as a response to something. And in a lot of cases, it comes as a response to betrayal. And that's what we're talking about tonight. This is about In Liars We Trust. A deeper look into the impact of betrayal trauma and how to heal from it. And, going with the theme of 2024, I know I've betrayed people. More importantly, you've betrayed people, right? So call in and we're going to talk about the betrayals we have perpetuated against others. And we're going to apologize for it, right? Because oftentimes, the betrayer, they want to keep what they got, right? So in trying to keep what you got, you're trying to push this person's process forward. Man, but when you hurt somebody, that's a hell of a lesson to learn. The lesson of leave them alone until they feel better about even looking at you, right? So I'm going to start it off. I deeply and sincerely apologize to the many women, right? All of you, right? That I have betrayed in my lifetime. The pain that came from my deceit, from my weakness, right? Has never been your fault. I release you from any obligation of forgiveness, of acknowledgement, of even speaking to me. That I forgive you, or I release you from anything that I may seek. Again, I sincerely and remorsefully apologize to anybody and everybody that I've deceived, that I've lied to, that I've betrayed. You are more than enough. You are loved. And above all else, you are safe. Love, Zoe. In Liars We Trust. A deeper look into the impact of betrayal trauma and how to heal from it. And like I said, man, you can't rush anyone's healing process. As a student of psychology, we can rationalize why it happened. We can rationalize, we can intellectualize, which is a form of deflection, right? We could do all of that to try to help this person see or get over or look at it from a different perspective. But the bottom line is pain is pain. And if you've caused someone who is close to you, who loves you, who or loved you, if you've caused them that kind of pain, the most honorable thing you can do is acknowledge it, right? Let's just acknowledge it and apologize for it and have no expectations of anything in return. Because, like I said, delving into this topic, we start to peel back the layers and we're starting to see, like, this is something that is really big that people deal with. And especially if the betrayal trauma has happened over, a certain amount of time. So it's deceit after deceit, lie after lie. I'm guilty of it. I've done it. And that's another thing, man. I like to lead with me. This is what I love about Krishnamurti. It's a little early in the show for Krishnamurti, but this is what I love about him. He said something that was quite profound, and that is, the speaker is not important. The speaker is not important. And oftentimes we glamorize and glorify and exonerate and pedestalize the speaker, the deliverer of the message. If every human being is a work in progress, that would be a grave mistake to put them on a pedestal. And I think we should stop doing that. I mean, we do that with celebrities. We do that with anybody that's talented, with anybody that's beautiful, articulate. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how beautiful you are. It doesn't matter how wealthy you are. It doesn't matter, how talented you are. You're still a work in progress because you're a human being. And that makes them equal to you. I've got questions. Is betrayal always intentional? Is it possible to accidentally betray someone? Does a moral reason for betrayal exist? What connections can be drawn between self-abandonment and betrayal trauma? Is self-betrayal one of the initial stages of betrayal trauma? Listen to these questions. If so, can one be coerced into self-betrayal? Are there levels of betrayal trauma? In other words, is the betrayal trauma, on a spectrum? Does the level of betrayal dictate the degree of grace given to the offender? 1-800-920-1580. I need you guys to get on the phone lines. We need to talk about this. This is a real conversation. Can relationships heal from betrayal? If so, what are the steps for healing a betrayal? What is a betrayal? What is a betrayal trauma feedback loop, and how is it developed? Are there ways to identify whether or not you are experiencing a betrayal trauma feedback loop? How can triangulation signal an incoming or ongoing betrayal trauma act? This is crazy. Oh, man, this is crazy. Is betrayal always intentional? I said it before. I need you guys to dig deep into that question. Let's ask another before I go forward. Can betrayal trauma lead to long-term psychological effects such as trust issues, anxiety, and or post-traumatic stress disorder? We're going to get into it today. Listen, the voice of reason is on fire. You guys already know what it is. Get to your phone lines, 1-800-920-1580. You know I come with the heavyweight topics. Let's get to it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, it's Tavis Smiley. First, thank you for your support of KBLA Talk 1580. We deeply appreciate you. So, I get asked all the time, Tavis, when are you going to bring back that State of the Black Union symposium you used to do? You know, the one where you had all those black intellectuals on stage every year and everybody watched all day live on C-SPAN? Yeah, I know the one.
Let's bring them back.
Well, I am pleased to tell you that if you go to KBLA1580.com right now, you can sign up to be in the audience here in Los Angeles when we go back live on C-SPAN with a stage full of black thinkers and influencers for a historic conversation. America has never seen a stage full of black folk talking about the urgency of now. Climate justice, climate equity, climate resilience. It's going down Tuesday, June 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. at the California Science Center in Exposition Park. Admission is free, but you must register at KBLA1580.com. Once we reach capacity, you'll have to watch us on C-SPAN. But if you want to be in the room when we go live from Los Angeles, Tuesday, June 18th, head to KBLA1580.com right now to reserve your seat. Caring about the climate, caring about the community. With KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
I believe up there. Hey!
This is DIR Silica, spot title, in California, 32nd English Radio, ISKI code, DSIC 0430, April 30th, 2024.
In California, the use of man-made stone is causing workers to get silicosis. Silicosis is a fatal disease caused by breathing in silica dust from cutting, polishing, or grinding man-made stone. To prevent silicosis, employers must provide their workers proper equipment, including water systems and NIOSH-approved respirators. Stop dusty and deadly practices. Learn more at worksafewithsilica.org. This is a message from Cal OSHA.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Of rejection, if you're with me, you're secure. You keep telling me that your time is always taken, but I keep seeing you out alone. Listen to love, the heart is pounding with desire.
All trauma is relational, and intimacy is the cure. We are born to be intimate as a species. It's what makes us healthy and happy. It's what makes our physical bodies run smoothly. It's what we as a species are designed for. The lack of intimacy has just been seen by research to be the equivalent to our bodies as smoking a pack and a half of cigarettes a day. How to be in healthy relationship to ourselves, first of all, and to those around us. How many of us are harsh with ourselves? for example? How many of us have well-developed inner critics? I grew up in a dysfunctional, violent family, and I'm here to tell you I spent decades loathing myself. Emotionally, I was vicious to myself. I'm not like that anymore. I have practiced the art of healthy self-esteem, neither better nor worse than anybody to the left or to the right of me. I have learned in my own life, minute by minute and act by act, to hold myself accountable for my behaviors, feeling proportionately bad about what I might do. If you don't feel bad about your bad behavior, you're shameless, you're sociopathic, you don't have conscience. It's good to feel bad about what you do. It's useless to feel bad about who you are. This is a distinction the great pediatrician Ben Spock taught us all. One man changed the culture. Before Spock, the way you would discipline a child, don't be a naughty boy, don't be a bad girl. Now we've learned to say you're a good boy, get that hammer out of your hand. That's not good behavior. We feel bad about bad behavior, and we still hold ourselves warmly and lovingly as flawed human beings. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, learn from your mistake, and focus your attention on the person you may have disappointed or hurt. That's the difference between shame and remorse. And when I work with a client who's shameless and I confront them about their bad behavior, you often see someone move from inflation to deflation, from shameless to shame. Oh, I was entitled, now I'm a big shit. And I say to them, beating yourself up is no favor to anybody. No one needs that from you. Guilt or remorse goes out to the person you hurt. Let me have empathy to you. Let me do what I can to help you. When you move from shameless entitlement, I deserve, to a shame-filled attack, I'm a big shit, you go from one form of self-preoccupation to, guess what, a different form of self-preoccupation. What I counsel people is what my kids call get over yourself. It's not about.
Wow, heavy stuff. Going from shameless to shameful. You hurt somebody, you take responsibility for the hurt you delivered, you visited upon somebody's soul. This is heavy, heavy stuff tonight. Betrayal trauma is a profound and complex phenomena that can have deep-rooted effects on an individual's emotional well-being and relational dynamics. As we dive into this intricate, deep, and potentially painful show about betrayal trauma, it is essential to explore the multifaceted nature of betrayal, the interplay between self-abandonment and trauma, the varying levels of betrayal trauma, the development of betrayal trauma feedback loops, the role of triangulation in signaling betrayal trauma, and the potential for prevention through addressing divided loyalties. Betrayal at its core raises fundamental questions about intentionality and moral reasoning, right? Is betrayal always a conscious and intentional act, or can it occur unintentionally? The nuances of human behavior and relational dynamics suggest that betrayal can manifest in subtle and covert ways, often blurring the lines between intention and impact. But let me just say, whether you intentionally meant to betray somebody or not, the impact takes precedence. And sometimes, many of us, myself included, we have to learn through loss to understand that that impact trumps everything else. It's almost like, do you know how small, like a really small meteorite can make it to Earth through our atmosphere and do a tremendous amount of damage, right? That's how betrayal works. Now, it's almost like saying, hey, get over that crater, right? You know, I had to learn this the hard way. And like most people, I learned this lesson the hard way. You can't tell somebody to get over a crater you created. Do you understand? The nuances of human behavior and relational dynamics suggest that betrayal can manifest in subtle and covert ways, often blurring the lines between intention and impact. While some instances of betrayal may stem from malicious intent, others may result from misunderstandings, miscommunication, or conflicting values. Right? The existence of a moral justification for betrayal further complicates this ethical terrain, prompting individuals to navigate the shades of gray between right and wrong in the context of betrayal. Who have you betrayed? And what steps have you taken to heal it? Now, healing it doesn't mean they take you back. Healing it doesn't even mean they understand. Right? A lot of it has to do with you healing you for what you've done. Remorse is for you. It lets you know you're still human. Like the clip said, if you have no remorse, no empathy, what separates you from a narcissist? Someone with MPD. Right? That's part of the essence of what makes us human is empathy. When we come forward, we're going to the phone lines. I want to talk to everybody. Let's get it.
Don't deny the truth. Tell me right now, I know your heart is in the right place. No, I won't let you down. Yeah. You can't disguise all the
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Tyreek Wayne. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Family, friends, and colleagues of the late Cook County, Illinois clerk Karen Yarborough continue to remember her time in office. A special meeting of County Board Commissioners was held to honor the longtime politician. Mayor Brandon Johnson was among the speakers. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who's black, is criticizing pro-Palestinian protesters while defending police for arresting demonstrators in Brooklyn over the weekend. Adams says protesters blocked traffic, climbed on top of a bus, and spit at police officers in Bay Ridge. Video shows officers shoving protesters towards the sidewalks, dragging others, and punching several demonstrators while taking them into custody. President Biden is urging black voters to show up at the polls in November. He spoke to the Detroit branch of the NAACP's Fight for Freedom Fund dinner and was given a Lifetime Achievement Award from the group. Biden addressed concerns about being 81 years old and said he feels pretty inspired. That's the latest. I'm Tyreek Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
More than 100,000 people need an organ transplant, and one donor can save up to 8 lives and heal 75 more through cornea and tissue donation. Sign up to save a life as an organ, eye, and tissue donor at organdonor.gov. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV. City of Los Angeles tenants, verify your Emergency Renters Assistance Program status today if you applied for the program. Tenants approved for rental assistance are protected from eviction for non-payment of rent through May 31st, 2024. And it's illegal under law for landlords to refuse rental assistance to you based on your source of income. Refusing assistance can be used as an affirmative defense in an eviction case. So check your application status now at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home. Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
So my home is also my office, and before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
You feel disenchanted, 'cause lately it takes you for granted. Still faithful and true, you've remained, and to her so have I. You pour out your heart and I listen, and we get your vibe reminiscing. Temptation so strong, not to mention the yearning inside. But what kind of man would I be if I lived unfaithfully? And what kind of girl would you be if you did the same? 'Cause I don't wanna see her cry, and you don't need a reason. 'Cause if we lay down tonight, it won't justify throwing love aside now. This feeling is strong.
Hello, I'm Esther Perel, and I have been a couples therapist in New York City for the past 30 years. And for the past 10, I've also traveled the globe and worked extensively with hundreds of people who have been shattered by an infidelity. Betrayal runs deep, but it can be healed. On the side of the person who had the affair, there are 3 specific things you can do that help to restore trust. 1 is to understand that trauma is healed or begins to heal when we acknowledge the wrongdoing. Your ability to express remorse and guilt for hurting your partner is essential because it communicates, I care about you, you matter to me, and our relationship is important to me, which is what the person who is deceived questions immediately. You want to be able to be the person who holds vigil for a while, for the relationship. You become responsible for protecting the boundaries, for bringing up the affair, for thinking about it so that the deceived partner doesn't have to be the one to obsess about it. It frees her or him from having to be the one to make sure that this isn't forgotten, and it also reassures and helps to build trust. An example of something that I thought was very well done is my patient Jenna. She had an affair in the country house during the summer.
And that doesn't guarantee that y'all gonna get back together. Do you understand? Many people, listen, I always start with me. I've been there. And sometimes you're doing it because you don't want to lose what you thought you had, right? So you try to do all the right things, everything that she laid out. The defender of the new boundaries, remorseful, sorry. But if there is an intention behind that remorse, if there is an agenda behind that remorse, are you really doing it for them, or are you doing it for yourself? Because there might be a fear of abandonment in you, right? So do those things because you're a good person, because you're shameful, right? And you're truly remorseful. Don't do those things out of fear of losing them forever, right? Because whether they stay or go, you still have to overcome whatever is in you that caused you to harm them. Get to your phone lines, 1-800-920-1580. Self-abandonment and betrayal trauma reveals a profound connection between internal struggles and external wounds. Self-abandonment, characterized by a disconnection from one's true self and needs, can create fertile ground for betrayal trauma to take root. Individuals who betray their own values, boundaries, or sense of self-worth may find themselves vulnerable to external betrayals, perpetuating a cycle of self-inflicted harm and relational distress. 1-800-920-1580. The intersection of self-abandonment and betrayal trauma underscores the importance of self-worth, self-awareness, self-compassion, self-esteem, and self-empowerment in the healing journey. Self-betrayal emerges as a pivotal stage in the trajectory of betrayal trauma, highlighting the internal conflicts and self-doubt that often precede external betrayals. The insidious nature of self-betrayal lies in its capacity to erode one's sense of agency, authenticity, and trust in oneself. Individuals who experience coerced self-betrayal may grapple with conflicting demands, external pressures, or manipulative tactics that compromise their inner integrity and well-being. Recognizing and addressing self-betrayal as a precursor to betrayal trauma can empower individuals to reclaim their autonomy and self-worth. We've got callers on the line. I want to talk to everybody who's been on the line the longest. John, you already know, Mountain View, Hawaii. Get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Aloha, chat. Greetings and blessings all.
Aloha.
This subject here. Wow. First off, let's attack that first question. Are these things intentional or not? The answer is no. And the only reason I could address this in this way is because, just like most people, they've been through a divorce. And in that divorce, there are the betrayals between the husband and the wife, but there's also the collateral damage of the children that are involved. And when you say something to the effect of, I got a question to ask my children. Was the abandonment that I gave you, regardless of whether it was put into your space or not, did it encourage something as simple as the very independent spirit you have right now as a grown human being? This kind of betrayal is something that I'm searching for and trying to heal in my own daughters. These are the questions that I'm asking them currently so that we can heal that bond that we used to have, even if it was something as simple as they know me as dad. And I'm asking that in their 30s and 26 years. Truly, I did not want them to be as independent, but more on the healthy side of interdependence because, yes, this family is broken. But at the same time, I don't need you to be running to the streets or anywhere else for the love you know you need to get from this human being right here. And I should be the greatest of all of those human beings, regardless of who you look at and see.
Man, I hear you, brother. And that's so heavy, but it's a powerful demand. And I'll tell you why.
It is a powerful demand.
I'll tell you why. If we look at, say, the attachment style of fearful avoidant, the fearful avoidant is the child that loves/fears their primary caregiver. And if you are the source of both the love and the hurt, do you see? There might be a reluctance to go to the one who hurt me. Do you understand?
I totally understand. Again, my youngest daughter is the one that is, at this point, avoidant of trying to ask for help when she has need of it. And the point is, this is the human being that also, in most joyous occasions, we laugh and we have the greatest of times, but in the moments of stress and duress and things that she knows she has to go outside of herself to ask for help, she will either break down in silence or she will just avoid the simple fact of doing what she needs to do, and that's not a healthy way of doing things. We're here to challenge you to do those things. And we're here to tell you you can make it even if you make mistakes. But the point of you shutting down and not being there, maybe that's something that even in the midst of me performing, doing the job, not being there 365 days, being at war and all these other things, these are the things that are also encouraged.
But the shutdown is the coping mechanism.
That part.
Yeah. And here's the thing. In order for healing to happen, we have to give the coping mechanism a little space. And sometimes the space we give is an alternative voice, right? Because sometimes it's hard for people to hear the solution from the source of the hurt.
Facts.
Do you see what I'm saying? So sometimes they got to hear the solution from a safe voice. They can't hear the solution from an unsafe voice. And if you're deemed or identified as such, sometimes the high road is pulling back a little bit and then put somebody in position to be the voice you need in that moment, right? To deliver, hey, your dad is doing the best he can, and your dad is trying to make amends, right? Sometimes you need that. And if you're in an interpersonal relationship with someone and they have a similar dynamic, sometimes it's the therapist. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, man. Listen, brother, I'm going to say this, man, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart, brother. All you've done is come in here and just tell the truth. Every time, John, every time you got on the phone, man, you've been transparent, you've been honest, and you've been human. Because this is what we gonna do, John. You and I. We gonna bring human back. We gonna make you understand what I'm saying? We gonna make being human sexy again. Listen.
Let's go.
John Gilbreth is a human being, man. Man, so many people are dating an image, a concept, a construct, an ideological thought process. They'd rather have an idea than a person, man. And the fact that you're in here, brother, being a human being, I just appreciate you, man. And you always got a seat at the table. Thank you, brother.
Salute.
Yes,
salute.
sir. He brought Hawaii in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, this is a national discussion. Get on the phone lines right now, 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, I'm going back to the phone lines. Let's get it.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well-trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up.
Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items launching exclusively at Lowe's, like the self-leveling laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect socket set for just $49.98. Get Klein tools in-store and online today. Because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Send me swinging. Oh, you send me swinging.
People say they want to be accountable, and accountability is like this cliche like concept, like I'm accountable. What I realized is like me allowing you to call me and say, hey, did you do this? That's not me being accountable. That's me being open to a relationship of accountability. To be truly accountable means that I have to be in pursuit of feedback. I have to be willing to step on the scale on a daily basis. So I had to do that like really fast. Once I realized there was a problem, I was like, oh, well, I didn't get this feedback till too late. I need a constant feedback loop where someone can go, hey man, don't say that. Like, that's not the way you should say that. Or, hey, cool concept, but don't do that at all. Like, right? So, so I had to put myself around people who I thought were smarter than me, that embodied personality traits that might not be my strength.
Interesting POV. Do we really want to be held accountable? Accountability is essential for a healthy relationship. And I'm speaking as a relationship failure, right? It's essential. Oftentimes we're reluctant to our partner holding us accountable, right? We're reluctant, to our partner getting us and motivating us to stand in the gap for ourselves, right? And we don't realize that that is a corrosive behavior that begins to break the relationship down from the inside out. Listen, sometimes our fears, our attachment wounds, and everything else is making or calling all the shots. And when that happens, your partner has a right to be jealous of those wounds. You've given those wounds too much power. You've empowered those wounds over your accountability partner. Now, that isn't to say that some people take that accountability partner title too far and they become kind of like the warden of your life. Well, again, I honestly and truthfully believe your partner is a complete reflection of the work you have or have not done in your own spirit. You typically don't get people that are too much smarter, too much more smarter than you, or dumber than you. We're talking about just on an IQ level. You don't get people that are way smarter than you in your relationship, in your intimate relationship. You don't. There's somewhere generally around where you are, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, all of that. There's somewhere around where you are, right? So when somebody comes into your life and they reflect a certain level of responsibility and accountability for themselves, that means you've up-leveled to a certain degree. So once you get to that point, don't regress back to your previous state of consciousness when the very person you were asking for comes into your life and is now like, come on, let's go. You promised, you said, you know, I'm one of those guys, man. I regressed. I have to lead with me. Right? I got to. So many people, man, so many people just lead like they got it figured out. Let me tell you something. Just like they don't have quantum mechanics figured out, they don't have spirituality figured out. And if they don't have spirituality figured out, they damn sure don't have relationships figured out. Relationships are spiritual. Do you understand? When we come forward, the voice of reason shall continue this most compelling conversation with phone calls from Houston, Texas, Oakland, California, and of course, Pasadena, California. If you want to bring your city in the building, just keep calling. As I get to the calls, I'm going to get to yours.
Just thinking about you and all the things that we could do.